Oh, welcome back, guys. Another day at the cabin. It's been a while since I brought y'all guys along. Kind of an update, and since I got a day off, I'm out here to do some work. Just reflecting back on the last couple weeks. It's been about 2 weeks ago for me since I've been out here. And you might notice the cabin is a little dark. For the most part, I've gotten the roof put on. Let me flip y'all around, and we got several projects going on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip y'all guys around and kind of show you what I got going on. And it's good, it's bad. I'm enjoying the fact that no water's getting into my cabin. Let me show you. It's kind of nice. It was 2 weeks ago today. Today's Monday. What are we in? March 4th, 5th, something. Not exactly sure. I lose track of days. Too many hours at work and too many daydreams of bringing my behind out here. And I think I forgot something. I need to run back, trek through the forest, get back out to where I parked the Jeep. I wanted to go ahead and put these batteries together as a whole bank. We'll check on those in a minute. But getting back to this, I didn't do no filming that day. It was actually in spurts of several weeks for me to get a chance to get out here and get this done. You notice all the trusses have been put up. The sheathing for the most part has been put up. On each end, I still have about 2 foot of sheathing to go on each end. But also on top of this, I went ahead and buddy of mine, sorry, getting a little tongue-tied. He helped me restring the tarp back over, so now the tarp doesn't fill up with water and pull and rip. Haven't got anything permanent on top of that. We're still only got the sheathing put up. I still have a little work down here to do. I'm hoping you guys can see that. I know it's a little dark in here. But I ended up using I believe they're 3/8 lag screws, and we used the good old Milwaukee impact driver to just run them in there. And I still have a couple more to finish putting in here. We had ran so many 5-inch screws through these just to hold everything. Then I ran a couple lags, and by the end of that day, we were so exhausted. I told my buddy, "Look, let's just get what we can done, and let's get the hell out of here." It was definitely a long day. So far, the sheathing's up. There is a couple of whoa, I need to watch what I have on the floor. There's one mistake, and this is going to be it, and I don't mind showing my mistakes. When I laid this rafter in, I think we had an issue here. Somehow or another, I was off at least by an inch. So what I'm going to do is, I haven't done it yet. I'm just going to get some 2x4s and rip them in half. And I'm going to just sister them right on the edge of this, so it gives me somewhere to screw the sheathing down to. And I can't believe I've done that. But it's a mistake, and it's a mistake learned. There's nothing I could do about it now. I'm just happy for the fact, like I said, that the water isn't getting in here. All my stuff isn't getting ruined. Unfortunately, as you can hear the crunching, I have an enormous amount of leaves all over the floor. So that's going to have to be swept up, which isn't a big deal, and I have a lot more stuff to bring in here, such as whenever for the business I run, whenever we order certain new things, I get to keep the old stuff, like I have a broom and dustpan combo thing. It wasn't good enough to keep there, so the business got a brand new dustpan combo. I think it's Lidman, I believe. Well, I get the old stuff anyway. So I need to bring that in here. We need to get all these leaves out of here that have accumulated. And I have all this stuff to start trying to organize, and I'm going to work on that a little bit today. Too much stuff. I've got so much other stuff I need to fix. As we're putting the walls up, you notice there is a little gap in between some of the panels, and that is because, as I've mentioned in other videos, the The plywood that I had purchased for a phenomenal deal ended up biting me in the butt, but it's all right. What I'm going to do, there's trim that goes on the outside that goes over the seams, and I'm going to spray foam, because even though this was supposed to be a portable cabin build, I've decided this is going to be a permanent build. I love this place. It's a place I daydream about, just coming out here to hang out, get the heck away from everybody, and now that I'm standing here closed in, I love it. Still got a lot more work to do, and that's what today's video is. I think what I'm going to do is try to go ahead and get this place a little bit more closed up. We're going to move this trim. I took this piece of wood. It was something laying around in the shed, and I turned around and mimicked it using a 2x4, and I love my new rigid table saw. Tried the Harbor Freight crap. It went through one or two pieces of 2x4, or yeah, it was 2x material. Burned the brushes out. I threw it away. Didn't even want to fight with their stupid warranty. Went and paid a little bit more than I paid for it. Got a nice rigid. Speaking of that, we also have inside siding that I've been ripping, and on the way here I happen to see a construction site, so I'm going to go talk to the foreman and see if I can get some more 2x material, and I'll take you on that adventure as I show you how I'm ripping material down to make inside siding. But today is this window opening. Time to start closing it up. First is going to be first. I need to reroute all these cables. We need to route them through the wall. I just got to figure out kind of where I'm going to put the battery box, because we have a wall that's going to be coming from those double 2x4s. It's going to be creating a small bathroom. It's going to have a composting toilet in here. Still trying to decide if I'm going to keep the garden tub in here, but it was a freebie and it's not too bad. So I know roughly, let's see, we got a kitchen going in here. This is going to be the kitchen. We're going to remake the whole new vanity that got destroyed. So with the kitchen, so we know that window is going to be part of the kitchen. I'm thinking the battery box is going to be in this general area. So probably we're going to put a hole in that wall. No, we're not going to do nothing nice and neat today. We're just going to run it through the wall, so that way we can reconnect to the batteries, and we're going to get working on this. So enough talking, let me stop babbling. Let's get some work done. Well, went ahead and grabbed my Milwaukee drill. The only thing I can find is a 1-inch spade. I believe that's what we're going to need, actually, before I go that route. You know what? Let me go double check what I actually need to do, because I think I can go smaller than a 1-inch spade. You know what? No, let's just go ahead and do that. What I got is I got a bunch of receptacle boxes that are for outdoors. Nothing like hot coffee. Sorry. Getting back to that, we have 1-inch receptacle outdoor boxes that I picked up at a yard sale, relatively cheap. Now, we know where that double joist, or stud, I'm sorry, we know right there is going to be the bathroom wall, roughly in there. And the kitchen is going to be here, so we know roughly in this area the box, or the battery box, is going to be. I think we can do it right here. Instead of boring y'all, how about I'll bring you back when I'm done with the hole. Alright, so step one, let's see, this one battery's got 13.5 volts, and I wish I'd remembered to bring my little bus bars. So now that we got that done, there's going to be, somewhere in this mess, there's actually 2 sets of wires. And you know what? We know we shut this down. So I'll put y'all guys on the tripod and keep y'all down so you can kind of see what I'm up to. We're just going to unplug the solar panels. And all I'm going to do is feed them to the outside. Nothing like playing hopscotch. Whoop. Forgot. There's a deck board that's not been screwed down. Jumping around does so many things, trying to get so much done. Here we go. You know what? Oh. Yeah, I'm going to need 2 hands. Looks ugly, don't it? Yeah. Well, it's alright. What I'm going to eventually have is a nice box that will mount up here. It's weatherproof. I'll have a flat cover. All my wiring will come up. If I don't end up putting some kind of the same style box, but the wires themselves won't go to these quick connectors. They'll end up going, and I'll actually have a switch where I could turn the solar on and off. Not sure yet, because this solar setup I'm not planning on keeping. I am going to get a little bit better of a setup. But since these panels do work, I think I might have a voltmeter. The panels need to be cleaned off. Here in North Florida, we've had so much pollen, as you can tell. That's I need to see if I have a broom inside, if it's possible. Go ahead and get these panels cleaned off. Maybe I can get some water from the creek. But back inside now. Unfortunately, I got to figure out how to film my work, so you guys could watch. My little mount for the GoPro has finally broken for the last time. So, otherwise, we'll figure this out. I guess back off to inside, start trimming out the window. I believe with that you get to see basically what I'm going to be doing. Well, this was one of the stationary windows that that 2x4 had mud on it. Knocking that crap off. Well, call it 2x4. It was 2x material. We're going to put that to the outside. I guess basically what I'm going to do is just going to sit here. Get some lines drawn up. You know what? It'd be helpful if I remember where, oh, there goes my circular. And I highly recommend all these Milwaukee tools. And no, I'm not sponsored by them. I just love the way they work. I love how being completely cordless, where I'm able to work, was actually one of the best things I did was invest in a good set of tools. As I've said it, I'm done with Harbor Freight and all their crap. Cheap tools that last no time, literally, because the only thing I could recommend that I've said that I've used that was okay would have to be the Harbor Freight impact driver, but it's so cumbersome with them heavy batteries. Even these screws are left over from something that I've done in the past. This is going to be very easy. We're just going to wrap the entire inside, and what this is probably 1.5 inches by, I'd say 1/2 inch. What I'm going to do is wrap my entire opening. We're going to caulk it in, put the stationary window in. Why don't we do this in fast frame mode instead of you sitting here watching me babble and do repetitive things over and over. Well, I apologize. Camera got knocked over a couple times. Fortunately, I don't have a tripod to work with right now. But after I filmed today, I think I'm switching over from my GoPro over to a nice Canon T3 that I purchased. Just got to figure out all the settings. With that one, there's a lot better features, so I am going to switch over. But I apologize for rambling. Well, it's in. Went ahead and unfortunately, I had bought a tube of clear silicone is what I was wanting to do it with, and I realized some of my tools are still back at the old place that we used to live. It's still locked up in a shed, and I'm not driving over half hour, 45 minutes to go retrieve it. And I didn't feel like going by the local hardware store, so I just purchased a small tube of just some white silicone. But it's in. The outside's fully framed in. On the inside, what I did was just use some of this other wood that I had. And what I'm going to do, let's see. I'll just take a piece of this. Nope. Well, yeah. Any of these doesn't matter. What I'm going to do is take, and I'll re-rip some of this on my table saw. Kind of like the look of the pine. It's more, even though it's a construction blade, still gives it a nice smoother cut. This was just some rougher material I had laying in the shed that it was about the same approximate dimensions. Actually, I think this is a hair thicker. So what I'll do is actually cut a couple more sticks of this and do this on the inside more permanent. But the window is in place, and that's what I wanted. So that kind of helps seal it out. And as you've heard out here, you can hear the trains running by. But the main goal is to try to get this cabin a little bit more closed in, keep people out. That was one of the big window openings. I mean, even though the front door is locked, all you had to do is just climb over the ladder and come right in. Now, we still have that opening to do, but I'm not going to get to that one today. That is for the AC unit, which will be run off a generator. Because we are in North Florida, you do need some kind of something. Because once the summer months hit, or not even, we're in March, month or two more and the heat comes on, especially with just the humidity. That window I normally leave open just to let the cabin breathe, but like it really matters when the roof not finished. Goal one for today was getting the window in. I have a lot of stuff to piddle with. The main thing is I need a lot of this stuff off the floor. There is a shelf that's in here somewhere. You put it together in pieces. I was thinking about putting that up today. Try to organize a lot of this stuff, and I might. Trying to figure out what I want to piddle with. I'm just, like I said, enjoying it. I love that window. Yeah, it's dirty. I mean, come on. But it's in there. So this is like I said earlier in the video, this is the corner for the kitchen. So got to rebuild a new counter, which I've already come up with that, what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. But like everything else, I'm jumping around so much, and I know it's kind of confusing, but I'm trying to hurry up and get this cabin basically done. But I figured today is actually working on the cabin. So now that I have one less window opening to worry about, I don't know if I got any 2x material, because I could go ahead and build the brace to hold the AC on the outside today, and we can shove that in there, and it'll be one thing less to create an extra opening. You know what? Let me see. It's either going to be that, or we're going to end up working on finishing up this deck. So give me a couple minutes. I'll figure out what we're about to work on next. But like I said, it's just so nice to have another window in. Couple of simple little hangers. Now the AC unit's not permanently installed because I'll have to come back out. Actually, I don't know. We might be able to go ahead and permanently install it, because I guess I could run the trim right up next to it. For the time being, what I might do is it has to have, the slope has to be downward in order for the water to run out. And I do still have some old holes that I drilled up in this top. This thing was, I guess you could say, was permanently installed in my old shop. And what's funny, the amount of this expandable foam is what really kept it in its place. For the most part, I mean, we got a little air gap here. I still have some foam to take out. You know what, I might just go ahead and actually just permanently install it today. And what I can do is, like how we did it in the old shop, come back with expandable foam, seal it up because nothing was getting in here. And what I can do when it's time to put I can go ahead and insulate everything. I can go ahead and put the inside, what is it, the little 1/4 inch planks I'm making out of 2x material. So you know what, I'll go ahead and do that. I'll just do that off camera. There's the brackets for the shelf. I could go ahead and do that while I'm here, and we get a lot of this mess off the floor and kind of organize it, so I might do that as well. Just trying to get this floor cleaned up a little, try to organize this mess. And I apologize, there you go, you have the train coming by. Well, the cabin itself's not fully sealed in, but it's slowly getting there. Can't complain, at least we have an AC unit for the off-grid, which will be run 9 times out of 10, it is going to probably be run off a generator. The solar setup I have, I don't believe will be enough to run it. If it does run, it's not going to run it very long. So something else accomplished for today. So, you know, let's figure out what we're going to work on next. All right, so I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. So now, AC unit's up. It's the air conditioner's out of the way. Got the window installed. Trying to be a little bit more productive for the day. I think one thing that I'm getting finally annoyed with is this porch. I've got a lot of material. These are all leftovers from the crates that we made the original foundation for. And I'm looking out here, and I know I'm supposed to have some 2x material other than this, but I've got this stuff scattered everywhere. See, we got one piece there, which actually, nope, that's not the one I'm looking for. We got a short one in here. We got that one. There's supposed to be another one that's twice the length of that. It was from the original ridge beam that we put in. And well, what I'm going to do is, I think we're going to go ahead and let's just start using all this stuff up. I'm going to go ahead and start cutting this. I don't know if I'm going to do any of it on video, but as I want to go ahead and get this as a completed deck, because I'm tired of the balancing act of walking across all this framework. Plus, I'm ready to have an actual staircase coming up here. Let me see what I'm going to get done, what I'm going to video, and we'll go from there. But it's definitely time. I'm going to get some of this done. I'll bring y'all along. I don't know which part, but it's time. Let me just start knocking this out. And also, I'm going to start grabbing up under this deck is materials that have been thrown down. At least, if nothing else, I'm going to throw them out here because I do have this little homemade little burn barrel, little burn pit. I don't know what we're going to call it, but we're going to eventually start getting rid of some of this trash as we're eventually going to wind down all this building out here. So let me get started on that. Like I said, I'll bring you guys along. And then, like I said, the biggest thing is I am actually tired of balancing act across all this. Let me definitely get started on this. Let's see if we can knock out a deck today too. Wouldn't you know it, battery died. It's alright. I've got a battery on charge on the right now on the solar power, which thank God I have it out here. It's actually come in handy. But the deck itself is done. I'm just cutting off all the irregular ends, and I've got a pile started, not but literally scraps. While I'm waiting for that battery to charge, why don't I take y'all and show y'all the finished product. Completely looks ugly, but you know what? It is free. The entire framing was free. All the deck boards were free. Well, except that nice new one. The whole time I kept thinking, I was like, man, I know I have some 2x material that's brand new out here. Then it took a while to dawn on me. I figured out what we'd done with that brand new 2x material. It was like a 2x10 by 12. They're up on the roof. We turned around, we took a lot of that material. We had some extra other materials. We threw up there to keep the tarp down because of the winds that we've been having lately. So I was like, well, that's the 2x material. Now I've got 3 dead batteries and 1 on charge in there. But it's getting near noon. I've been out here for about 3-4 hours. So that's really the last thing I have to do is just zip it down. Go ahead and finish zipping this, and that battery might just have enough of a charge to finish doing this. I've left a little of an overhang on the front, probably about 2-inch, give or take. But the deck itself is done. Now we're not having to constantly keep doing balancing beam act in and out of the front. So the next step would be build a set of steps, and I'm thinking about doing a set of wide steps. I know right here is very mushy. It's a low spot, and the hole itself, the land slopes the entire way towards the creek. So I want to be careful of that where I place the steps, but I would like them somewhere here, kind of in the center, so I'll have to figure that out. I do want to bring in some dirt, do something here, like I said, to keep the water itself from wanting to pool up right here and maybe give it a continuation towards the creek. But just give me a second, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that other battery because I'm getting ready to pack it up. It's getting tiring, and I'm ready for breakfast and lunch together because it is noon. I don't eat breakfast, so let me get this grab this battery and hopefully finish this cut. Well, just recapping for the day. Yeah, I'm calling it done. Batteries are all dead. I don't feel like sitting here waiting on solar power to keep charging them. Got the window in. I'm gonna come back with something a little different. This is just put in here just to hold the window in place. The silicone will go ahead and seat it so we don't have no more openings here. We have the AC unit in. Went ahead, I've ran screws through the unit and sealed it so that way I don't have to worry about thieves trying to get in anymore through any of the openings. While I'm at it, whoa, we will still have airflow. You know, I don't, hold on. Alright, sorry guys. Might have got a little shaky there for a second. I'm sorry if you see my fingers in the shots. What I'm going to do is, instead of ordering another one of these cases, I'm just going to take the waterproof case I have and cut the little area out of it like this one with my Dremel so that way I can use my tripod again. Actually, no, forget it. We'll go ahead and just order a new case. And hopefully the next video you'll see in my series will be filming with my newer Canon that I purchased through eBay. But we still have airflow, so I'm not worried about any mildew or anything. It's not like the water hasn't got in here. The cabin itself, all the openings, the lower openings that anybody could try to get in here are closed up. Still a mess. I'm not even gonna deny. There's a mess everywhere. I was hoping to get to the shelf, but it's just gotten tiresome, and it's not like, as you can see, I have a buku of stuff everywhere. I know what that goes to, and I was hoping, all right, that was the TV remote for my little flat screen. I have stuff galore that's in here, So I do need to organize some of this. I just need to try to figure out how to set my next shelf so that way it's not going to be in my way as I continue to work on it. But my goal is to get the outside fully done, closed up. We're going to go ahead and paint it. Then I'll worry about inside. But I do have a construction site to hit on the way out. We're going to go ahead and, you like that, huh? My little way of keeping the door open, since went ahead and cleared the deck of everything, and I'm doing this one-handed, so there we go. All right, now see, I keep forgetting I have WD-40 in the box. Make sure I got my keys, because now there is no easy way getting in here. Look at that. I went ahead and got this side of the deck flush cut. Haven't done this side, but I'm able to walk on it. I'm not having boards come up loose. The only thing I will have to come back is go buy more screws. Everything I've reused was from the homemade camper project on my other channel, Masses 32210, which is 3 to 4 years ago. I think it's more to 4 to 5. I'm not sure now. So all those screws, we took apart the homemade camper because I knew I was getting rid of the property that was in the city, renting a place out in the country, and I bought this place. Eventually, the homestead will be on the other end. I decided to take the wooded side. But it's just so nice. Look at this. I'm standing on a deck, and I'm not falling through, and I'm not having a balancing beam act anymore. Now, like I said in the last footage, I do want to create some kind of steps. Originally, I'd wanted a porch, so I got to figure that out. At least now I got a place to attach posts. I just got to figure out the math so we can clear the door opening. But I will have some kind of sloping porch, because now that the deck itself is finished, there's enough room. I could imagine having a couple rocking chairs up here, maybe even a little I don't know, I don't forgot the name, I'm so tired. A little railing, I don't know yet. It'd be so nice, just sit out here during the summer months, sipping on a cold beverage, just overlooking this. And we are going to clean up some of the stragglers. I don't want to take out too much. I like my trees. But it's definitely time to pack it up. And this whole thing was full. I don't know if you've seen it in previous videos. This sucker was full. We've got rid of a lot of that wood right here on this deck. I didn't point this, I don't know if I showed this or not. This was actually a 2x12 at one board right there. Actually, there's two of them. I turned around and ripped them to match like a 2x8 or a 6. I think that's a 2x8. Shows you how tired I am. Yeah, that's a 2x8, and there's a 2x6 right next to it. But I turned around and ripped them down just so that way we could reuse everything we can. For the most part, this deck is reclaimed. Everything from the material under it to this. Like I said earlier, every board, it just has one screw at every joist. It reminds me where they're at, so I can come back with some longer screws and a huge box of them, and I'll finish getting this thing down. But it just is so nice. Guys, I'm Masses Outdoors. I appreciate y'all so much watching. I hope this video isn't too long and my rambling hasn't got you. For a day off, I feel accomplished. So thank you so much. And if you happen to see this, check me out through Instagram. It's GM_productions. Thank you so much. Till next time, y'all have a wonderful day, and always stay outdoors and enjoy it, because there's nothing like Mother Nature. Thank you, guys.